Welcome to another episode of The Scoop. Tonight, I have Mr. Billy Shirer here with me. How you doing tonight,
Good.
Billy?
All right.
So, last night I did watch you with Monkeybird Express over at
Yeah.
Hurricanes.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Thank you.
Um, One of the big things that I know that you do have coming up here, you have the artist entry.
Entrance. Yeah, artist entrance. It's a thing that Ted and Dickie English and George started doing. They did one last month, and I'm lucky to be invited to be the musical guy this month.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be you. Ted is the literary,
Yeah.
and then Don Cooper this week is going to be the
Yeah.
photographer or visual artist.
Yeah. It's cool. 2 out of 3 are monkey birds.
So, what kind of music can we expect to hear from you?
It's probably going to be stuff that's quite a bit different from what people have heard me do before. The cool thing about the artist entrance is it's a little more intimate atmosphere, so I can get into playing a little more guitar stuff, finger picking, and other stuff like that, where I'm not having to compete for volume.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are almost more used to seeing you acoustically. Is it going to be an acoustic set,
Yeah,
or is it
yeah,
going to be
it's
acoustic
acoustic.
and electric? Because
It's acoustic, but not like all the other acoustic you see me do.
okay,
So it's going to be fun. I don't know. I've had all these songs kind of tucked away for a long time, and when Dickie first said to me, hey, you want to do this? I was like, oh, I don't know if I can play any of my original stuff on acoustic. And then I thought about it for a while. I was like, wait a minute, I got a whole bunch of stuff, and so I'm really looking forward to it. It should be fun.
I can't wait to see it. I ran into you at the Viva La Rosser
Yeah.
event, and we
Mhm.
were talking, and you gave me a copy of your CD.
Yeah. Or soon
And
to be.
I know a lot of the songs you have out there on, I think it's just straight up Facebook video,
Yeah,
SoundCloud, and
Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation.
Yeah. And so how'd you like it?
I love it. It has been in my car in the CD player playing for this whole week.
Appreciate it.
It's incredible to hear. You can definitely hear a lot of different influences in the variety of the music on this CD. That there is one song that will sound very almost talking heads ish, and then there's a completely different side where it'll sound like a journey, like a Ween song.
Mm-hmm.
The next one you'll have like that mud rock guitar sound in it. The next one will sound like a world influence.
Yeah.
Who are some of the different artists that you use to inspire you?
Well, I grew up in the 70s, and I had older brothers and sisters, so when I was really young, I was like listening to a lot of the music of the 70s and the 60s too, which was what they were hearing when they were little kids. So that was kind of my primary influence. Then I kind of delved more into Pink Floyd and more, really got into more psychedelic music. Then I moved out to the West Coast, and there I met Don Cherry, who invented the little short trumpet,
Yeah.
and he was a jazz improv legend. And because he was doing a show for us, we had a production company, and we were putting on benefit concerts. And then I met his guitarist, who was a kora player. He played West African harp, and he'd come out to my house in Marin and have these like world music jams. And he kind of taught me, he was a jazz guitarist and a world musician, so a lot of that influence came from out there. And then I'm a big prog rock head, so I love Yes, King Crimson, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, uh, Peter Gabriel. But I just kind of try to let the music happen, and I try not to even sound like I just sounded last time.
Do you find yourself there? Because there are a few songs to where you can definitely tell the world influence, to where if you had to classify this individual song,
Yeah.
it is world music style. To
Mm-hmm.
where it's very progressive and has a lot of intricate melodies with the guitars and bass rhythms that are going well, and it almost has like that conga feel of the
Yeah.
drums.
Well, drums was my first instrument. I
Really?
was a drummer first when I was really young, from like 13 to 18, and but I sang too, so the guitarist in my band wouldn't learn songs I wanted to sing. So I said, "Fuck no, man!" And I picked up a guitar one day and taught myself how to play guitar, and that just kind of started the whole ball rolling, you know. And actually, right now, if I got behind a drum kit, it wouldn't be anything for me. Not at all. I haven't played them in a long time.
Well, with the music that you gave me on the
Hmm.
CD, you had mentioned on one of the posts that you were recording it yourself.
Yes.
How did you do the drum stuff? Was that just
The drum
a drum
stuff is,
machine,
is a
or
drum machine, little SR, Alesis SR16 drum machine. And it's got these touch sensitive pads, so basically, even some songs on there, to me, music is always an experimentation, and it's a mystical thing, and I learn things. It's like, actually, I'm just kind of, those songs, a lot of them are just like taking you along a learning process and of figuring out how things work with each other. There are some songs on there that the drum beat never changes, but it sounds like it's changing all over the place. And it taught me, hey, it really just depends on your relationship to the beat, not the beat itself. And you can actually take a static drum beat and make it dynamic.
just with the bass rhythms and the guitar melodies
Yeah,
playing
yeah. What
with it?
tangents you are approaching that at that given point in time. And it's strange because certain drums would start to enhance themselves. Like it would be a drum beat, and it's not, just completely simple, like boom, bap, but, to have some toms worked into it, but no cymbals, just the hi hat or ride and toms. And, little simple equations that you can put in there to change it entirely, and you hear different drums. On the last measure, you heard some drums, and then on this measure, because we're playing over those drums, you don't hear them anymore, but you hear the other ones.
Ah, okay. So like you're mainly catching the higher tone drum noises from during measure
Yeah.
A because the guitar is uh, more powerful during that particular measure.
Well, just the same thing, like, as if you are playing a kick drum and the bass hits at the same time,
Yeah.
or if the kick drum hits on the one and the bass hits on the two. That's a entirely different effect, and you hear the kick drum differently. When you hit the bass with the kick drum, it's boom. When you hit the kick without the bass, thump. So it's another whole other sound texture within that. And so your ear is going to focus in. It's not going to blend those two sounds together, so they become separate sounds.
I never realized that. So with the CD, you'd said hopefully to become a CD. Are you looking
Yeah.
to
As a matter of fact,
mass press it or something of that nature?
yes, a portion of it. I'm gonna consolidate it down to 10 songs, and then the other ones will probably wind up being on the next thing. And pretty soon here, I think Richard Bird's going to be mastering it for me, getting everything just dialed in. Actually, all of that recording was done on a little Korg D16 Porta Studio.
Yeah, I saw the picture you posted of your little rig,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's
I just plugged the bass right into it and dial up so it has some onboard effects so it could and dial in the bass sound and just play it straight in with headphones on. A lot of the songs I'd just write a drum beat and then I would just jam to it and listen back and go, okay, this part, this part, this part, boom, there we go. And sometimes it was the bass first, sometimes it's guitar first. But then there are other songs that are kind of creations around a song that I already wrote, that I wrote on a guitar. So My Gift to You is one of those. There are a few of them on there that were actually a song written on a guitar as opposed to a song written from the ground up.
right. With the album, did you put them in any particular order for a certain reason, or was that just their chronological order?
Since there were a lot of instrumentals, I was trying to spread out the vocal songs
Okay.
so that they wouldn't be clumped.
Did you find that the vocal ones came more all at closer to the same period then?
Um, no.
No, they were still
Well, My Gift to You, that song I wrote maybe 25 years ago, 30 years ago. It's a very old song that I wrote, and I've always wanted to record it. And everything on that portion of it was all it's all guitar. It's all guitar and bass. I don't have a keyboard, so I just kind of made do with what I have. And with the guitar, it was all using volume pedals. But that was a song that I wrote a very long time ago. Stockholm syndrome or let's say I call it drive theory or Islamophobia, and that one is very recent.
okay.
And God, I don't know where the hell that came from, but it's just a reflection of the chaos I see around me. It almost becomes cartoon like.
One other project that I know that you do have going on is the Acoustic Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
You hold that every Thursday over at Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And if you've never been, there's a complete variety of different musicians that show up. It's not just like all acoustic guitar. You
Yeah.
have a variety of, I've seen French horn players, I've seen a harp player in there.
Yeah, it's been very, very cool. That's been a lot of fun especially to do something like that right in the heart of Metairie, where it's sort of an anything goes in what was normally a homogenous environment. So we have flute players. Jonathan is really that dude's a few million years old, I swear. And we have some really amazing school musicians who are very top caliber, and a lot of like people who are just coming out and playing a few songs. So there's this real good open discussion there amongst everybody about things. And some of the guys who have come around and said, and I myself, I've learned so much about music from doing this. I'm really blessed to have that show, and we're coming up on 3 years in December.
I was just about to ask you this. I know it's been going for quite a while.
Yeah.
So 3 years. Wow.
Yeah. And Creature and I we bitch all the time, but we have a fun time doing it.
And Creature is, I'd almost consider him like to be your right hand man. It seems
Yeah.
like a lot of times when you see you with a musical act, Creature is in the mix with you.
Yeah, he and I, we grew up with all the same people, but we didn't actually meet until 2002. I had moved back from from Colorado, and I went by a studio of a band that he was playing in, and I pulled out this CD of some other stuff that you haven't heard that I did that's very progressive rock. And he was like, man, I want to play this. So we started playing music together and working on my original material. And that was, we've been playing ever since 2002. It just clicks, it's a real learning experience. We teach each other a lot of stuff, and then we argue the rest of the time. He's blunt as a 2x4, and that's a beautiful thing. You can't ask for a better bandmate than somebody who will go in practice. Stop. That sounds like shit. Don't do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let you know.
Yeah, don't get all emotional. Don't get all freaked out. Don't get defensive. Listen to what's said.
Yeah, just taking constructive criticism.
Yeah, and cut straight to the mustard and get on. Because the more you hang up and you have all of these hang-ups about it, the more time you waste. And so he and I kind of click like that, and I think we have a great friendship, and like I said, we argue with each other all the time, and that works really well between being able to play as like a two-piece and stuff like that. Because music is all about tension and release. You create tension, and then you give the release, and or ask a question and give an answer, and so. By doing that, he and I can be at opposite ends, and then, be congruent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very cool.
The artist entrance, it's on, I think, November 29th.
Yes.
Which is a Tuesday.
Yes.
And I know it's relatively early. It starts at like 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock, I think it's from 6 to 7, will be Don Cooper. Will be more centered around the visual artist. The second hour from 7 to 8 is the literary hour. So, and they usually, they'll have someone speak, or do a featured person. But then there's an open mic portion to follow. So if anybody has a poem they want to read or other things like that they can get up and do that. Then there's a musical portion. So there's a featured person, featured musician. Well, this week the literary guy is Ted, and I'm the musician.
Yes.
So I'm going to play a set of all original music, and then it's an open mic, but it's a intimate occasion. It's nice. It's a listening audience because even though I have like acoustic open mic, when we start up, there's a bunch of
There's a
half-drunk
lot of
people all talking real loud all over the place.
Well, there's also typically Thursday night football going on.
Yeah.
Plus with hurricanes, I find that it's one of those stops on the way home kind of thing. You know what I mean? To where there's a lot of people they'll stop there after work and just go wind down after work, and they may not be paying attention to the music all the time.
Yeah.
But there's definitely been times where I've been at Acoustic Mayhem, and y'all have the room's undivided attention.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Mayhem has been a lot of fun. Dave Anderson, who's the principal bassist for the Louisiana Philharmonic, has been coming around, and what he is, he's opened up a lot of things to me in music, just conceptually, and a beautiful human being, but on the other hand too, he's been the principal bassist of the Louisiana Philharmonic since '96. He studied with Jaco Pastorius. He's very knowledgeable, so knowledgeable of music. Symphonies in other countries are playing his music he's created.
Wow.
And to even think that this guy who I'm jamming with can actually write a symphony for an 80-piece band. And
Yeah, that's pretty
I thought I
impressive.
had some shit in my head. Not by a long shot.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school looking through the different pieces that were written for a marching band
Yeah.
and being enamored, being like, wow, this guy had to write 40 different pieces for, you know, the lead flute, the second flute, the third flute, so on and so
Yeah.
forth through all the different instruments. And on top of that, with a symphony, then you have all the strings instruments that
Yeah.
you don't see written.
Yeah. I got to see a piece that he just did with the LPO and them perform it. And it was really cool. It was really psychedelic. It wasn't something that I expected. He had these things, these elements in it that were very dynamic. Not like the typical, Mozart, Bach, but a little more progressive.
Yeah.
It's very cool stuff. But yeah, Mayhem, and our crowd keeps getting later. It's weird. We have more people in there. It's like Thursday night. We have more people in there, I think, between 12 and 1 than we do
At like 9 or 10
before
o'clock,
12.
yeah.
And people just kept coming later and later. We used to start at 8 o'clock, but now we sit around and we're like, it's 9:30. And, oh, here comes somebody.
Well, you did bring your guitar. Did you want to play a
Yeah.
song? And
Sure, yeah. Here's a little taste of what I might be doing on the 29th. This is a song called Old Soul. Inspiration, where have you gone? Dreamless nights, where have I been? Where will I be when this daydream ends? Just a weary old soul, a rock in the middle of a raging river. Reaching for words as they scatter through the back of my mind. Wordless conversation, what have I said? How could I tell you the thoughts in my head? Just a weary old soul, a rock in the middle of a raging river. Just reaching for sun, always getting caught in the rain. Lonely world, hearts closed by pain. Do you have the strength to open them again? Just weary old soul, rocks in the middle of a raging river.
nice. Man, I can't wait to see more of this on the 29th over at Southport Hall.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. That's
Yeah, I didn't get to go to the first artist entrance, but I heard that was really cool.
yeah,
So I want to see what the whole layout
yeah.
of the project.
It's so nice because I mean it's even a lot more intimate than your usual bar acoustic thing.
Yeah, from what I understood, it had more of almost like a cool coffee shop feel
Yeah, yeah,
instead of
exactly. And I tell you what, it's a little nerve wracking. It's weird as a musician. You get up on a stage and you play in front of people a lot of times, and then you go and you play this gig, and it's just you, and you can hear a pin drop, and everybody's looking at you, and it's like it's weird. It's a weird feeling. All of a sudden, you feel like a deer in the headlights. You know, it's strange how the chaos kind of helps you to you know to deal with whatever nervousness you might have. But when you get into that real intimate setting, it's like you're naked. You know, it's and all attention is focused on you. It's a strange feeling.
I can imagine there being that deer in headlights feel.
Yeah.
I noticed while you were playing that you don't play with a pick.
I play with a pick whenever I'm playing with Creature because I have a real tendency to rip my fingernails off trying to compete for volume. So that's the cool thing about artist entrance is I play, like you said, you see, we're Creature and I do a lot of stuff together.
Right.
But it's just because I love drums. It almost, I'm
Yeah,
almost
having
like,
the beat behind it
yeah,
is.
I almost sometimes I hit a point for a while where it's kind of like it's kind of pointless without drums, and but then I remembered all of this other stuff, that I used to do. So um, should be fun.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Where can people follow all of your different projects?
Well, I have my Facebook, Billy Shirer Music. Then there's Monkeybird Express, and then also have the Billy Shirer Music on Reverb Nation and on SoundCloud. Very soon, as soon as I get these things mastered, then I'll be able to have some CDs for people that look a lot nicer than the one I gave you.
Hey, but the look isn't what matters with that CD. It's the quality built into the CD.
I appreciate it.
Like I said, it's been in my car all week, and there's no problem with listening to it. It makes the drive go great. It's perfect. I
Yeah.
love it.
Thank you. I've listened to it. It actually does fit the drive back and forth from Gonzalez. I think as I've listened to it because when you a lot of times when you're just driving around town, you don't get that time to proof how it's if you burn it to a CD, how does it sound in the car?
Yeah.
And that's one of the best barometers.
Yeah, I have several friends of mine who have been, recorded music along the way, and they said that's one of the first tests that they always do is listening to it in
Yeah.
the car.
So I got a 45-minute drive that I can listen to that song and drive just nuts listening to the same song over and over and over. I just gotta listen to. Wait, hold on, I gotta hear that part again. Wait. Oh.
But it's a great CD. If you haven't checked it out, I really encourage you go and listen to his music on any of the three resources there.
I found that the Facebook one is the easiest one because what I would do is just take my songs and use my little video creator in my phone and put the music to a video, and when you post the video to Facebook, it's immediately accessible.
Yeah.
You don't
As
have
opposed
to
to opening another
Yeah.
app or
You don't have to go to YouTube. You don't have to go to SoundCloud. You don't have to go to a different, to a different app. It'll just play
right then and there.
instantaneously, because Facebook doesn't give you the music option.
Right.
But yeah, just trying to get people around here to kind of hear that stuff. I know it's a little different from the norm.
Oh, but it's cool, man. I mean, at some point along, I feel like uh, a lot of the music, you'll kind of hear little influences of that style of music in everyday music around town, whether it be at festivals or, even out at a local bar or whatever. You'll hear a lot of those different inspirations in there, and it's real cool.
Cool. Appreciate it.
So, well, I want to thank you for coming on here,
Thank
Billy.
you for having me.
Yeah. So again, go check out Billy Shirer Music, Shirer.
Yeah. And then there's I forgot, Acoustic Mayhem Open Mic and Jam. That's the other one. It's on Facebook, and you can check that one out every Thursday. We don't miss. As a matter of fact, we are doing Thanksgiving night.
Oh, y'all are doing it?
Yeah, for all you poor bastards out there who ain't got nowhere to go on Thanksgiving night, come on home.
Or even better, after you finished up with the family stuff, go wind down with Billy and them.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be doing the good old jam. It just comes every week.
So I look forward to it. Again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Till the next time, be sure to check us out on iTunes or on your favorite podcast app, facebook.com/The Scoop Show. You can check us out on YouTube. The channel is called The Scoop Podcast. Thanks for listening, and Scoop out!